my depression was a daily factor, and it didn't really feel like it was getting any better. I think it felt very, very stuck, and difficult for me to believe that it would ever improve, I think. It felt like a very warm, safe place, and I think that was making me think a bit like, well, you either start to talk about this or you just keep dithering around with it, just skirting around the issue. The sea's got some pretty rough waves, which I remember was me trying to indicate that, well, my mood at the time was pretty choppy waters kind of experience, and the boat was me, and I remember getting really, really distressed because I couldn't decide what colour to paint myself, me being the boat. I remember in this session picking up various colours and putting them down, and still being quite upset about it when I was explaining to the group what that process had been for me, that I'd not managed to decide what colour to colour myself in with. I think it probably gave me some confidence in the group that I could describe something quite distressing to myself and feel like it was being heard. Well, the one I did first that day was a volcano, and I'm the volcano, and I think it was struggling with whether or not I should go further into talking about the difficulties I had as a child, or whether to do what I'd always done previously, which is to maybe refer to it but not go into too much detail. And I think I was feeling quite like some sort of, although I drew myself as a volcano, a bit like some sort of ticking bomb, that if I went off or erupted as this volcano, then the consequences might have been quite far-reaching. It's really, even as I look at it now, it's sort of really slapping on lots of paint. There's a lot of red, which certainly for this depicted danger, and there's brown in it as well, which I would have chosen to put some brown in it because it's a colour I associate with my father. And so yes, I remember as I was doing that, another idea came into my mind, that family belief that you shouldn't talk about problems outside the family, but also that as a result of that there were a lot of secrets, a lot of things that weren't said, and this is a box which has been opened up, and all of the colours are supposed to represent secrets escaping once I open the box. The box being, I suppose, representing the more difficult things that occurred to me in my childhood. And again, there's a lot of paint added on. I remember there was quite a bit of energy into painting it, and I think there's probably, it doesn't surprise me that the box itself I chose to paint black. Yeah, some of the secrets from my childhood are quite dark. And again, I've chosen to put a bit of brown in there for the same reason as I did with the volcano. I think when I was actually doing them, I think it felt quite liberating in some ways. But I don't think I was sure while I was doing paintings that I was going to be able to explain to the group what they represented. And when it came to my turn to talk about my artwork, if I remember rightly, it wasn't actually that difficult to explain what they represented. And I think as the group went on, I felt confident in potentially producing something quite silly or not very artistic. I really like that I found the group safe enough to play around a bit. I've decided I'm actually going to frame this one and put it up, and I hope that it will always remind me of those things that I've said about it. I enjoyed making it, and I enjoyed how it came out. I was aware that I'd taken a major step. Really appreciated that I'd found the level of safety within the group that I needed to be able to do that. And I think I'd always assumed that art therapy wouldn't be good for me because I don't see myself as somebody who can paint. But as it is, I found quite the opposite. That having that medium made it a lot easier actually to talk about things and to work things out a little bit for myself sometimes.